Hello and welcome back to another episode of FoxyNoTail's Minecraft Adventures here inside of my Minecraft Bedrock Edition Better Together Update Survival World on the Pocket Edition version, not Java, of Minecraft. Hooray! Yeah, well, there's still a little bit of confusion about what this version's called, but I don't know. It doesn't matter, does it? It really doesn't matter. Hello, pigmen. Hello. I've got more pigmen, look. We've had more thunderstorms. Hello, pigmen. Got two here, got one stuck there, and they can all stay there. I don't care. Right, so what are we going to do today? What have we done recently? We made a sugarcane farm, so we can make rockets, so we can go to the end, fight the Ender Dragon, go to an end city, get some elytra, and fly. But there's one more ingredient that we need in order to make rockets, and that's gunpowder. So I wonder what we're going to do today. Let's have a look at our gunpowder supplies first. We have nearly 4 stacks of gunpowder. That's all the gunpowder we've got in the world. We do use it for brewing, so I don't want to get rid of it all. So we're going to need some gunpowder, and the only way to get gunpowder, realistically, is from creepers. Now, we are in Bedrock Edition, as I have already explained, and the problem with Bedrock Edition is that you can't do creeper farms. No, it can't be done. It probably can be done. Some clever person will figure it out, but I've tried to figure it out, and I can't do it. So what we're going to have instead of a creeper farm is just a mob farm. Just a mob spawnery mob farm. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to build a mob farm. We're going to build it downstairs in our downstairsy area, but we're not going to have it on this level here because we don't want the mobs freaking out our lazy villagers. Look, he's given up. He's not done anything for weeks. You're just so lazy. We're going to go down a bit and do it down. Oh, can I get down there? Yes, I did make a little staircase. Down here, near the bottom of the world, and hopefully it'll be far enough away that the things won't upset that villager too much. Down here, we're miles away from anywhere. There shouldn't be many other things in the area to spawn, so it shouldn't affect the rate. So I think this is a good spot to do it. Okay, so the thing I was going to be using to kill the mobs is going to be magma blocks, but it appears that I don't have any. I've been through all of my drawers and all of my cupboards, and I can't find any anywhere. So I'm going to have to go back to the nether again. So hopefully I don't get killed. If you watch the last episode, you'll see we did finally clear out the pigmen, but no doubt they're all back again. Yeah, see? Who hit me then? Who hit me? I got walloped then, but there's no one there, unless they can hit me through the door. But look, they're back. They're back with a vengeance. I daren't let them in. I'm going to have to get out. Flick the door open, and then shoot her! Ow! No, why can't... Uh-oh, that was a bad idea. Oh, no. Why do you hate me? What have I done to deserve this? Anyway, magma blocks, that's what we're coming for. So we're going to go down our little way that we came yesterday. In our last video. Wasn't yesterday, was it? And we'll go see if we can find some magma blocks. There won't be any in my normal area because that area was generated before magma blocks were in the game. So we're going to go over to where our end portal area is because there should be a load that way on because that's all new. The other thing we really need is gold. We've got very, very little gold. In fact, I think we've got like 1 ingot of gold left because we made loads of power rails for my sugarcane farm. And now we're going to need some power rails for this one as well. There we go. Look, loads of magma blocks around here. Ah, careful. Hurts your feet, that stuff. All right, let's grab as much of this stuff as we can. There we go. We've got a whole ton of magma blocks there. That's going to be absolutely plenty. I can't see us ever needing any more than that. Right, so we're quite near the bottom of the world down here. Before we start building, I'm going to go and fix my Silk Touch pickaxe at the zombie spawner. So I'm getting XP from these skeletons, but I'm actually getting more levels than my pickaxe is mending. Whereas before, when I first built this, my pickaxe got all the XP and I hardly got any levels. So it's taking ages and ages and ages to repair my pickaxe because I'm getting all the levels. I don't want the levels. I want my pickaxe repaired, please. I know all of my armor's got mended on it, but it's fully mended, so that shouldn't be taking any of it. So let's try taking my armor off, see if this makes a difference. In fact, let's just put it in a chest out the way and see if that makes a difference. Oh, that seems to be better, actually. Yeah, now it's all going onto my pickaxe. Can you see I'm not getting any of the XP? So that's interesting that when you're wearing mending armor, even when it's fully mended, it still sucks in the XP into you rather than onto your tools. So that's something to be really careful of. If you go mining with a mending pickaxe and you're wearing mending armor, your pickaxe isn't going to repair itself. But look how quickly it's mending itself now. Right, I've killed all of those off and I didn't get a single bit of that XP since I put all of my stuff in this chest. So that's very, very interesting. Right, I'm going to do the same thing again, but this time I'm not going to put my enchanted stuff in a chest. I'm just going to leave it in my inventory as it was. I've taken my armor off, but I'm just going to leave it here. And let's see if these zombies give me levels or if my pickaxe gets repaired. It's all going on my pickaxe still, so you don't need to put it away. You just need to take it off. So if you go mining with a mending pickaxe, make sure you take your mending armor off if you've got mending armor so that your pickaxe gets all the XP it can from the ores that you mine. Well, there we go. After going through pretty much 2 entire pickaxes, I managed to get a grand total of 14 pieces of gold, which isn't much. But as you can see, I've cleared out quite a lot of space. I haven't finished on that one yet. I kind of want that one to go all the way back as far as these chunks. But that's quite a big... It doesn't look like much, but it's a big hefty chunk of rock to shift that. But I've done quite a lot that side. I've pushed that all the way back there as well. So we've got quite a lot of space to work with now. And I want to make sure when we build this thing, we're not below that, which is our villager farm. Because if we do that, that's going to reduce our height. So I think if we stick to like this chunk here, then we've got plenty of height we can go up. So, yeah. I'm going to go repair my pickaxes again because obviously they're both broken, and then I'll be back to start building. And I'm also going to get all these ores onto smelt as well so that we get all of the stuff back from them. Right, now that everything's fully repaired, it's time to get building this thing, and I've decided I'm not going to do it in that one over there. I'm going to do it in this one here for no particular reason. I just think this is probably the better one to do it in. So what I'm going to do is clear out the entire chunk that we've got here so I can build from the very, very bottom and work our way up to the top. So the first thing I'm going to build is the killing station and the item pickup area, and then after that I'm going to build the platforms which the mobs will spawn on and get pushed off. And we're going to be using a water system, and this system isn't going to work for Enderman because it is a water system and Endermen don't like water, and I don't really want Endermen teleporting all around this area if they spawn on this system. So we're going to make it so they can't spawn on here. So that's the plan anyway. So I'll see you guys in a second when I've started building. Oh, I didn't mention, I'm going to be squeezing this into one chunk as well. All of my farm designs, I'm trying to make single chunk designs just because I think it's slightly more reliable doing it that way when you've got redstone. If you've got redstone going over chunk boundaries and you load one chunk but not the other, then you're going to have issues. So I'm trying to squeeze everything that I build into single chunks, apart from obviously that farm thing, which is in 4 chunks, but doesn't work anyway, so it's pointless. It's pointless that. So yeah, we're going to build in this chunk here. Okay. Completely ignore everything you see here. I'm just testing some things out. I'm coming up with ideas on the fly. This bit's probably going to stay. This is basically a minecart hopper unloader. So the minecart hopper is going to be running around this level. It's going to get there. A comparator is going to detect if there's items in it, which will turn the power rail off, which will stop the minecart. It'll unload into that chest, and when it's empty again, that'll turn off and it'll set off again. So that's the idea there. This next bit, I'm thinking of having magma blocks around the outside and some water in the middle underneath to push them out towards the magma blocks, so I don't have to have an entire layer of magma blocks. Now, I was just thinking it would be really helpful if you could still take damage on magma blocks on top of a pressure plate. So if we put pressure plates like that, do we still take damage? We do. That's perfect. That's really, really handy because the pressure plates will stop the water from flowing onto the magma blocks because we don't want that. So we can put those there. We can put water in the middle, and that's going to push the mobs onto there, and they're still going to take damage through the pressure plates. That's fantastic. Actually, forget that. I don't need to do that. I just need to have water at one end and push them to the other end, and then my minecart track only needs to go up and down one end. Right, start again. If you're wondering why I build everything out of slabs, by the way, there's a couple of reasons. The main one is they're super, super cheap if you've got a silk touch pickaxe because you just make them from stone. So you get like more slabs for your stone. It's a bit like planks of wood from logs of wood. And the other thing is, because they only take up half a slab, half a space, they allow for better ways of working, I find. They're really handy. So that's why. Just in case you was interested, you're probably not. They also look pretty good. I like the look of slabs. They're probably one of the prettiest blocks in the game, I think. Very grey, a bit dull and boring, but I don't know, I just think there's something about them that they're so unique compared to all the other Minecraft blocks. So there we go. This is our mob and item catching system. So whatever's above this is going to have to make sure that the mobs fall into this water stream. They're going to fall down there. They're going to end up on those magma blocks. The reason I've done this with slabs around the outside is just to try and stop spiders climbing up the walls. I don't know if they can climb up half slabs. I'm hoping they can't. So nothing should be able to escape from there. And then underneath, I haven't finished the minecart track yet, just because I'm very short on minecart track at the moment. But yeah, the minecart track will run around underneath those magma blocks, picking up whatever items are there. So now I've got to actually build the actual mob system, how they're actually going to spawn. So this is going to be interesting. Well, I've no idea if this is going to work or not, but this is my little plan. So I've got a platform here in the middle with an observer with a dropper in. So it's very similar to quite a lot of the mob spawner designs, but because our platform's quite small and the water overflows on each side, I've had to put signs around the outsides to try and stop the water falling off, so it'll still push the mobs off. Now what we need underneath here is a little redstone clock that's going to turn this on and off again, but then that's going to get away in this water stream. So I think I might have to drop this all down a bit or redo it. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% happy with this design, to be perfectly honest with you. So I might change it up a bit and change some bits on this, because yeah, I'm not overly keen on it at the moment. Right, I've had a bit of a redesign then. So what I'm doing now is I'm using a hopper clock to basically control a row of pistons, and I'm going to have multiple levels of this, and the pistons are holding back water, and when the pistons drop down, the water goes out, which will push the mobs onto the magma block. So similar sort of thing, but we're going to have a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, only 6? Oh, I thought we had more than that on each side worth of spawnable spaces, but I guess it's only going to be 6 by 14. Hopefully that's enough room for mobs to spawn on there. We'll have to wait and see. Right, I've done 3 levels of it. It's not completely dark inside, and it's not currently on the hopper clock. That the pistons went off then because I ran over those pressure plates there, which are just stopping the water going if the pistons go down. But yeah, I've done 3 levels. I haven't had anything spawn in it yet, but I think that's because me and Chuck have been working in the area. Chuck's now logged out, and I'm going to log out in a second. No, I'm not going to log out. I'm going to move away in a second, and we haven't got a roof on it yet either, so I'm not 100% sure what the spawn rates are going to be like, if any, because we've got torches right here, look. So, and also, because we've left gaps in the walls, because we've done half slabs, that's going to let a lot of light through as well. So we're going to have to be careful about light levels and things like that, but I just want to make sure it's actually going to spawn something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this hopper clock back on by adding a redstone line there and just add in, I don't know, I think I had about 27 in there before. Let's add 25 in, that should be plenty. And that'll just transfer from one to the other, and that will allow the water to flush out, and then the water will retract again. So let's go stand back and see if we get any mobs spawning in this thing. I'm going to stand up here and I'm going to put my field of view right down so we can zoom in on this and see if anything's going on. I'm a little bit concerned because my zombie and my skeleton spawner are both fully loaded with mobs. So we might not get any mobs in here because we might already be at the mob cap, or it might just be due to the fact that it's too bright in here. There's too light, but it doesn't look like anything's spawning in there at the moment. So I'll go clear out my skeleton spawner and my zombie spawner, and let's see if we get any improvement on that. It's not looking promising, but then it's not impossible. There's too much light in there. Let's make it all dark, and let's turn off this clock so that the water's not spilling out everywhere. And let's see if we can get something at least spawning in there. Right then, I've covered the entire thing in stone bricks, so there shouldn't be any light in there now, apart from the tiny little bit of light that the magma blocks will give off. There's a gap. Hang on. There we go. Let's get rid of that gap there. In fact, all of these half slabs need to be full slabs, otherwise they'll let light through as well. So there we go. That should be fully dark in there now, and you're thinking, well, how are we going to find out if any of the mobs have spawned? Well, that's a very good question. It's going to be very difficult. What I think we should do is hop up to the very top of it, have a look and make sure it is fully dark in there, and then just sort of walk away and leave it for a bit and then come back and see if there's any mobs spawned in there. That's what I think we should do. All right, so let's just put a hole in the top. Oh, why is the water out? The water shouldn't be out. The piston should be up. That's not good. Oh, I've obviously broke some redstone, but you can see in here, although it's not dark around the edges. Why is it not dark around the edges? It should be dark. I've darked it. Ah, that could be because of the hole I've just put in the ceiling. Right, let's fix the redstone, and then we'll come back and check if it's dark again. It would be really sensible to use a ladder at this point, but I'm not being sensible today, as you can probably tell. So each of the levels I've done as double slabs. Ah, see, it's not dark in here still. Why not? Is it these corners? Are these corners letting light through? Is it the pistons? Maybe the pistons are letting light through. Somewhere there's light getting through, and I'm tempted to say it's these corner blocks. So I'm going to replace all of those corner blocks with proper blocks. Right, that's all the corners replaced with stone bricks. Let's see if this still got light coming through the corners then. It does seem to be. It does seem to be, and I don't know why. Right, that should sort the issue out. So let's just drop back down here. That is a lot darker now. Let's put a lid on there. Yeah, that's better. That's what I was expecting to see when I came in here for the first time. So this should be plenty dark enough for things to be spawning in here. This should be definitely far enough away. But something's worrying me a little bit, actually. And that is that normally when I'm working in here, and this room is absolutely full of slimes. So I'm thinking that we have a backup somewhere of mobs that have spawned within somewhere, and we've reached the mob cap. Maybe they're in unloaded chunks and they're still in memory. But I've got a feeling this hasn't going to have anything in it because there should be slimes spawning through there. So let's have a look. Let's open the door. I say open the door. Let's put a hole in it. Yeah, there's nothing in here. Okay, right. I've got a couple of tricks then that might help with this. The first one is to just relog. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to stand on my S, and that S stands for slime chunks. This is supposed to be a slime chunk, but nothing spawns on it anymore. So let's save and quit. All right, so we've logged out. Let's log back in again. So that should unload any mobs that are in unloaded chunks. So anything that's in the memory, that should clear out now. So we should only be getting new mobs within the chunks that I'm within spawning, potentially. That's how it should work. Anyway, that's what all my testing has led me to believe. So let's have a look in here now and see if anything's spawned. Right, I've taken the front back off this thing because I think this area should still be technically dark enough for things to spawn. So I've taken the front off so we can stand back and just see if anything's going on. But I've got another idea of something I'm going to try just to make sure that we're not having problems from mobs that are spawned somewhere else. I can't see any reason why things shouldn't spawn in there unless I'm being dumb. But there's nothing going on there at all. So let's try my other trick then. And this is less of a trick and more of a test. So let's just save and quit the game again. What we're going to do, we're going to export the world. We'll make a backup of it. Right, so that's exported. So what we're going to do is we're going to import that thing we've just exported. So we've got spawner test there. Let's import that. Let's rename it so we don't get confused. And we're going to put this in creative. And we're going to allow cheats. Right, we'll put our field of view back down so we can zoom in on it but keep our distance. So let's come over here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go kill. And this is going to kill everything at E. And that's going to kill everything in the area. And can you see there's loads of stuff on there? Zombie villagers, spiders, zombies, creepers. There's all sorts of stuff that was spawned in the area. If we go to chat now, they're all the things it's got rid of. And it has got rid of things like minecarts and bats and villagers and stuff like that. But it doesn't matter because this is just a test world. So now let's see if things spawn in there. Right, I'm going to change it to peaceful. I'm going to put it on always day so it doesn't... And we're going to stop it from raining so we can't get any more mobs spawning anywhere else. So I'm going to kill everything again and again for good measure. And then let's put it back on normal. In fact, let's relog before we put it back on normal. Right, so we've logged back in. We're on peaceful still. So nothing should be spawning. Let's change that back to normal. And go back and let's see if anything spawns now. Right, absolutely nothing is spawning in there still. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use commands to swap out all of those slabs for other blocks. So let's work out what the coordinates of this thing are. Right, what we're doing is we're filling the area, but we're only replacing double stone slabs with dirt. So let's do that. There we go. All those 3 layers have now got dirt in. So let's see if anything spawns on the dirt now. Now I can hear a spider, but it's not in there. It's somewhere else. So let's do our killing thing again. And let's look at all the things that are spawning elsewhere, but not spawning in here. Oh, there we go. We got something spawning. One thing. We got a skeleton. So that's interesting that it will spawn on dirt, but not on stone slabs. And a spider now. And it's we're obviously getting still quite a lot of other things spawning in the area. So I've got a lot of digging and cave lighting to do. But putting dirt in there will allow things to spawn. So good news and bad news then. The good news is we can make it work a bit. The bad news is we're going to have to do a lot of cave lighting and digging to get rid of any other mobs that's in the area so that we actually get some efficiency out of this thing, because that was terrible. A spider and a skeleton. We're not going to get much gunpowder that way, are we? Right, let's go back into our main world and get this thing sorted out. Many time has passed, and I've rebuilt it like twice, like from the ground up. I literally tore the entire thing down and started again. It might not look like it, but it is. If you look closely at the clips earlier, you'll see that all the stone bricks was on this line here, and I've moved them all on the inside just to make it fit completely within this one chunk that we want it to be in. I've also managed to squeeze in an extra level, and so we've got 4 levels altogether. We're not using dirt, we're using stone. I haven't tested it. I hope that works. So I need to just darken it, get rid of all my building blocks, and then put a front on it, because as you can see, there's no front on it at the moment, because I didn't think that was particularly important right now. I just wanted to get the mechanism done. So the redstone's all in place. I still haven't done the minecart track that does the collections, but I want to make sure this thing's actually going to work before I go down that road, because I've put a lot of hours into this now. And so far, we've had 1 skeleton and 1 spider, which isn't ideal considering we want gunpowder. Right then, the last of the glass is in. Let's go assume our positions and change our field of view, and let's see if we can get anything spawning in here. I can't see because of the glass. I need a better texture pack with see-through glass. But I definitely think it's dark enough now. But it doesn't look like there's a great deal going on in there, does it? What I'm going to do is I'm going to tidy it all up. I'm going to get rid of all these extra blocks that I've placed for scaffolding. I'm going to finish off the little minecart track collection system, and then I'm just going to AFK here for a while and see if anything actually happens. Okay, so I've been AFK for about 6 hours-ish, and I've already checked. It's not good. We've got nothing. Nothing at all. Nothing. Oh, no. Which is a bit of a problem. Now, I don't think there's an issue with the design unless I'm being a bit thick, a bit stupid, which isn't impossible. I might have overlooked something, but I don't think there's an issue with the design. What I think the issue is I think there's too many other mobs spawning in the area, and I think this is probably just not, I don't know. So what we're going to do is we're going to do something a little bit cheaty without cheating. And what that is I'm going to now flick over to my other screen on my computer and show you exactly what I mean. Okay, so this is the screen on my other computer, and what we're doing here is, because we're on Windows, we've got an Android OS emulator with an app called Block Topograph installed on it. Now, it's not working 100% because it's not loaded in my world in, but what it is doing is it's showing us where all the mobs are in the world. So what we can do is we can go, okay, there's mobs around here. Let's go and clean them out. So we can see there's some mobs here, there's some mobs here, there's quite a lot of them there, there's one over here, and there's one that appears to be in my house. So this is my house. So let's go see if we can find these things then. So now that we've got coordinates, because we're allowed coordinates, we can go and find these things. So I'm going to switch back to me, just like that, and I'm going to go hunting for these creatures. So the first one I'm going to go for, I'm going to find this zombie first that seems to be lurking around in my bedroom. Then we're going to go over for these ones, and then we're going to go over for these ones and see if we can light up all the areas and try and stop them spawning. There he is. Look, he's riding a sheep. There he is. Right, let's take that guy out then. So we're going to have to do a lot of lighting up around here just to stop things spawning, because obviously they're not dying off. Oh, man, we've got so much work to do. This is going to be really hard. Oh, I don't want to play. Right, so let's go for that other batch next, which were in this sort of direction. So 280, 60, and 1.49. So they're 280, 60 and then 149. So they're not far away. They're in this direction somewhere. They could be inside this hill. What? It sounds like they are. I'm starting to hear zombie noises. I think we might have some baddies hiding inside this hill somehow. I'm going to guess they're somewhere in that water. In fact, I can see a creeper already flashing away. Let's get rid of that guy. Right, why are they in water? There's a zombie here. Let's get rid of that guy. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go and make a whole bunch of torches. I'm going to come and light this area up, and I'm going to stop things spawning in this area at night time on the surface. So everything's going to be refined to spawning in caves, and that way we should be able to monitor and reduce the amount of stuff spawning elsewhere. So our mob spawner works. That's the plan anyway. Well, there we go. I've placed down an absolute ton of torches, and we're going to have to wait till nighttime to see the full effect, but you could just about see where they've all been laid from behind me over here. So they go, if we spin around all the way over in that direction, all the way around there, I've chopped down all the trees as well. Just so that the problem with trees is that when mobs spawn and they stand under the tree, they don't despawn when it comes daytime again. So getting rid of the trees means that they won't be able to survive in the day. And I've gone absolutely crazy littering this place with torches. And it does look a mess. But hopefully, that will stop things spawning on the surface, which means things are going to be only able to spawn underground now. So what we're going to have to do now is go back to our little mapping program, update it, and see if we can find any more pockets of mobs. Now, I know there is definitely a baby zombie in that hill over there, which is why I took the top of it. I can hear it, but I can't find it. So we're going to need to use our little mapping program again and find out if there's any more mobs kicking around anywhere. Okay, this is good news. It shows that we haven't got quite as many bad things going on as we did before. We've got an Enderman over here, which we can sort out. We've got a spider down here and a couple of zombies. A zombie over here, but that seems to be about it. The sun's going down. This is going to be a good time to look at our torches now. We're going to get a good bird's eye view of the whole area from up here on this mountain. So just in the sugarcane farm is the centre of our little underground area that we've made. So I've tried to do the torches as much in a sort of circle around that as possible. I haven't done that hill over there. As you can see, that's quite dark, but I've gone quite a long way in that direction. There's a few missing on my house down there. As you can see, look, all of this area around here is totally lit up now. There's no dark areas. Right, I've not looked at the map yet. I've cleared absolutely everything off from what the original map was, and we've done all that lighting up. I haven't checked to see if there's anything else, which I'm sure there will be. I'm just going to have a quick pop down here, since I was in the area anyway, and just see if anything's actually started to spawn yet. See if we've had anything in, because we've been not far from this area, so it might have been running. You never know, but it's still not looking promising, is it? It's not looking like there's a great deal going on in there. We've had things. We've actually had things, so it does work. We just had to clean out the area. That's good. That's good news. So I'm going to carry on then, cleaning out the area and lighting up and stuff, and we might actually get some decent stuff out of this. We've got 2 gunpowder already. There we go, look, there's something dying as we speak. Hooray! It's a semi-success. He's taking a long time to die, isn't he? I wonder if he's got like fire protection or something on his armor. Hey, he's finally gone. Hurrah. Let's see if anything else spawns in then. Yeah, something else, a skeleton and something down at the bottom as well. 2 skeletons. Hooray, and a zombie. There we go, look, so they're all going to get pushed off the edge. No creepers, though. Although we have had creepers, obviously. 3 skeletons and a zombie that time. Well, according to the Block2Graph app, we have cleared out all the mobs from the area anywhere near where we live or around this thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go AFK again. And we'll see what sort of rates and what things we get from this. Now, it's never going to be amazing because we're on Pocket Edition at the end of the day, or Bedrock Edition, or whatever we're calling it now. So it's never going to be fantastic. But even if it just ticks along in the background, just generating us a bit of loot here and there, that's going to be better than nothing. Well, I've solved the problem of the lazy villager. I was just hopping by. I'm just doing a little bit of work while I'm waiting for this mob spawner to be running. He was in the hopper. He couldn't move. He was stuck in the hopper. I didn't realise he could get stuck in there. Second I pushed him out of that hopper. Oh, not my iron blocks. Yeah, the second I pushed him out of there, he started working straight away. So, yeah, we're going to have to put some carpet over those hoppers so he doesn't get stuck anymore. But that's good. That's good. That means that farm's not broken. So before I started doing my jobs, I did let the farm run for about an hour on its own without me interfering with anything. And we got a few things. There were things going on. It wasn't amazing. You know, we've got a few bits more than we had before. We've got 13 gunpowder now, which is nice. But we did get a skeleton spawn on top of it. And we also got a creeper spawn down here. So what I'm going to do now, off camera, is I'm going to dig all of this rest of this floor out round here and slab it out like this so it matches the chunks, because nothing can spawn on this because it's stairs and slabs. And I'm also going to dig this area out up here. So I'm going to do quite a lot of digging. So I'm going to dig all that out so that's all gone, that big chunk of rock there. I'm going to finish digging that chunk of rock off there, so that's all gone. And then I'm going to make a new staircase, like a little bit like that one that we've got coming down here from the top, but not as fancy. I'm going to build that coming down here as well, because it's a bit awkward having to come down this one, run around there and then go down that one. Okay, so I've been clearing this area out. Obviously, mobs are going to spawn in this as I'm clearing it, because it's getting darker, because I'm not putting torches down. But I've found a little bit of a problem with the mob farm, and that is witches. I wasn't expecting to get any witches, but we do have a witch. And the problem with the witch is she'll give herself fire-resistant potion, which means she can't get burned on the magma block, which means she's just going to stay there. So what I will do at some point is I'm going to put some dispensers in the side with arrows in them and just have them firing random arrows out. Oh, no, look, she's getting damaged again. So she'll give herself fire resistance again. I think she gives herself healing potions as well. So, yeah, I think we're going to have to use dispensers with arrows in them and just have them firing out of there. And hopefully, if we fire the arrows out, the minecart should pick them up again. So we might be able to have a system where we can take the arrows that have been collected and put them back into the dispenser, like a recycling thing. I don't know how good that's going to be, but even if we run out or even if we lose some arrows, we've got so many from our skeleton farm, I don't think it'll be an issue. Okay, so I've put the arrow system into place. I've no idea whether this is going to be successful or not, but basically what I've got is I've got a dispenser over here that's occasionally firing an arrow and a dispenser over here that's occasionally firing an arrow, and they're not particularly accurate, these things. They do tend to go all over the place. You can see on the screen that the arrows, some of them aren't making it all the way across, some of them do. I was really hoping that the hopper minecart would pull the used arrows through and put them back in this chest so that we could then feed this chest into that one and recycle the arrows, but it doesn't work like that. It won't pull the arrows through the magma block for some reason, so we'll just have to manually deposit those in there from time to time and fill that back up again. Right, we've just had a witch spawn, which is very convenient. We've got a witch and a spider there, so let's go over here and take a closer look when they fall down. Let's see what happens. So she's taking damage. She's giving herself some fire resistance, but she is getting shot by the dispensers. Oh, almost. That one missed. Is it going to do the job? It's not going to be instant, but it might work. Come on. Shoot her. You missed. You're missing, dispensers. Missing by miles. Yay, it shot her, but she's just taken a healing potion. Oh, no. What I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can put some pressure plates on the back row of magma blocks and then feed that into a very fast clock that will fire these things a rapid fire if something stood on it. That's the plan anyway. That's what we're going to try and do. So I'll be back with you guys in a minute once that's sorted out. Right, it should be working now. We just need to get some mobs to spawn. There's a little bit of an issue where the pressure plates affect the redstone and it switches the minecart track round, which stops the minecart working, which we'll sort out in a minute. But I just want to make sure this is actually going to work with some mobs. Here we go, we've got a skeleton, 2 skeletons, 3 skeletons, all spawned. That's good. Come on, guys, fall down. Should be 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 skeletons. Arrows are going crazy. 5 skeletons. The arrows are all firing away. They're getting shot. I don't know if it's the magma blocks or what that's happening, but it seems to do the job. We need to test it with a witch, really. And there we go. We finally got a witch. I've been working hard. The staircase from there and there is gone. We've now got one through here, but let's not worry about that just yet. Let's see if this thing actually works. So that witch is walking all over the pressure plates, but it's not doing anything yet because we destroyed the redstone. So let's put that back. There's one there. And that'll start firing out of one side. That'll start firing out of the other side when she's on the pressure plates. And let's see what happens. There we go. So she's getting shot. She's got a health potion on her. Hopefully it's going to do the job. Is it going to work? Come on. Get that witch. Get her. Get her. Come on. Stop missing. Shoot. Shoot her. Don't let her take the health potions. These dispensers are rubbish. Come on. You can do it. It's only taken 470,000 hours. Oh, she took a health potion now. She's got another health potion ready, look. Oh, these witches. She's took it again. Just goes to prove that that was a complete waste of time. I'm going to turn it off because I'm just wasting all of those arrows. It's not doing anything. She's just healing herself. We need a better plan. We need a better plan than that. That obviously doesn't work. So, I would like to ask you guys for your help here. How do I get rid of the witches? Now, I know I could put water down and push her to one side and maybe hold her in place. I could put lava down, but that would destroy the drops. So what do you guys think is the best way of getting rid of the witches out of this? Because it's not a problem them being there, but the longer the witches sort of hang about, the less other mobs we're going to get. So I thought I'd try and make a few more areas of this base spawn-proof to stop things spawning. I often get a lot of slimes in here, and particularly upstairs as well. So I'm just going around putting all these slabs in. I've done half of the room, as you can see. I haven't quite finished it off yet, and I just thought I'd join in quick to show you what I'm up to. And also up here, I'm going to have to raise all of these blocks up one as well to stop the slime spawning in here. So another day has passed, and I've been sitting in that little hole just there for a long time. Another good few hours, and I've come back. And what have we got here? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 witches in there now. But the good news is I've been AFK for a lot less time than I was before. And if we look inside this box, you'll see I have a lot more drops. And bearing in mind, I emptied this box out. So all of this stuff is brand new. That's all since I've been sat in that little hole over there just overnight. So that's a lot better than it was. It's still not anywhere near what you'd get on Java Edition. It's still not fantastic, but it is a lot better than it was. And to be honest, I'm happy with that. That'll do me. That's enough to just have things ticking over for a while. Shoot it quick. Oh, you sneaky witch. Stop moving. Come here. Stop spinning on the pressure plates and let me get you. That's those guys gone. Good. Okay, so the mob spawner is much more of a success now, and I think the reasons for that is 1, because I've made it a lot darker. At the back, I've covered all the light holes up, and 2, because I spent all of the time over here slabbing this out. So this is all completely slabbed out now. I even got rid of the redstone blocks and replaced them with that. And upstairs as well, I took out all of this floor, and I put it up 1/2 a slab higher up. So technically, nothing can spawn in here now. And my voice is very deep again because it's the next day and it's the morning. So the mob spawner's good, the slabs are good, mobs are spawning well, things are going the way I wanted them to. It's got there finally in the end. And here we have our wonderful staircase that takes us all the way up to our special little room. And I haven't finished it. It's going to keep going there. But I haven't finished it yet. That's going to happen in the future. And then that brings us to our little room here, which is very nice. Our farmer has yet again, I've emptied out his chests once, but watch. If I come over here, I bet they're all full again. He's doing an absolutely amazing job. That means it's also going to have been backed up into the hoppers as well. So I need to clear all that very quickly. And I need to put some more chests in there to stop that backing up. So that's really good news. We have many potato. And finally, as we get to the top, something strange has happened up here. Something very strange. So, do you remember we had the issues with the lightning that broke our fence posts? Yeah? And we moved a few things about because of that. Now, This originally had donkeys and llamas and horses in it. Okay, so it's still got llamas, it's still got a donkey, it's still got a horse, it's also got a couple of chickens and a pig, which is fine, things can spawn in there, that's not a problem. And this one had pigs in it, but it had a hole in it, and we tried to get more pigs in it. Now, we did successfully get one pig back in here, but now we have 2 donkeys that have saddles and chests and a cow. Now, these 2 donkeys I already had, but they were in that pen. I haven't put them in here, so I don't know how that's happened. I don't know how they've got from there to there. That is very bizarre. So unless someone's logged on and trolled me, but this is on an invite-only game, so and I haven't invited anyone, so I don't know how that's happened. That's bizarre, but it has happened. So there we go. Very interesting things. We now have a working mob spawner. We have magical moving donkeys and pigs that transform into cows. We have cleaned up the area, so there's a lot less chance of mob spawning naturally anywhere in the world, which is absolutely fantastic. And yeah, so now we've got one thing left to do, and that is go and fight the Ender Dragon. Eee, that's a scary thought, isn't it? Do you think we should do that in the next episode? Yeah? Yeah? Oh, maybe then. Maybe. I'll see what I can do. But for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, as usual, thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, do please leave a like. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe. And hopefully, I'll see you all in the next one. Bye! Thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. Here's another one you might like, and if you don't fancy that one, why don't you go to my channel page and see what else there is. There you can find all of my videos and playlists so you can watch a video whenever you want. And don't forget, you can also subscribe to get notified whenever I release a new video, so you never miss out on anything.